Okay, so this is the 5.5 lesson, writing systems of equations. So in this lesson, you're going to be able to look at graphs, look at tables, and look at word problems, and be able to write a system of equations from that information. So remember, we've already covered how to do all of this in one equation. So when we did writing equations in previous units, we were able to write the equation from a word problem, write the equation from a graph, and write the equation from a table. Now we're just going to do the same thing, but we're going to do it with two equations at a time, which is a system. And so let's start with the word problems. So it says the sum of two numbers is 13. Their difference is 3. Write the system of equations to find the two numbers. All right. So remember, the easiest way to do this is to go through and try to translate the words into symbols. So when you see the sum, that means plus. And then two numbers, we don't know what those numbers are. We're going to call those X and Y, and it is 13. All right. Now, their difference means X and Y again. Difference means minus is 3. So once you translate the symbols, you got to make them make sense. So the sum of X and Y would be written as X plus Y, and that equaled 13. And then the difference of X and Y is going to be X minus Y, and that's going to equal 3, and that takes care of writing your system of equations. Example 2, the freshman class and sophomore class at RHS planned separate trips to Six Flags. The freshman class rented and filled one van and 6 buses with 372 students. The sophomore class rented and filled 4 vans and 12 buses with 780 students. Write the system of equations based on this situation. So we're going to call vans V. So we have one van, and we'll call buses B, and we have 6 buses, and that's going to equal 372. The sophomore class did 4 vans and 12 buses, and it's going to be filled with 780 students. And so that one, it pretty much writes it for you. So you have 1V plus 6B. We're adding them because we're talking about the total number of students in all the vehicles. And then the other one was 4V plus 12B is equal to 780. So remember the strategy when we're doing these word problems. You look for those keywords. Read the problem first without trying to work it so you get a general idea of what's happening. Then go through and translate the words into symbols and then make sure it makes sense. So after I write this, one of the final strategies to check yourself is to say, okay, reread it with a word problem. So it says the freshman class rented 1 van and 6 buses with 372 students. The sophomore class rented 4 vans and 12 buses with 780 students. All right. Example number 3. Brendan's school is selling tickets to a spring musical. One day, the school sold 303 adult tickets and 9 child tickets for $75. The next day, the school sold 8 adult tickets and 5 child tickets for $67. Write the system of equations based on that situation. Okay, so now we go across 3 adult tickets. You need to give it a variable name. So we're going to do 3 adults. We'll call A, and 9 child. We'll call C, and it's 4. That's the same thing as is. That's going to be 75. 8 adults, 5 child is 67. And so when you put that together, these are pretty self-explanatory. You're going to add the number of tickets together. And then we got 8 adults and 5 child for 67. And so in these word problems on these systems, a lot of times they like them to be in standard form, which is what these forms are in. And when they're in standard form, it makes it super easy to be able to write the system. Okay, the next one we have to do is from a graph. And remember, you're going to take one line at a time. And so one of the things that I like to do is I'll call this, y1, and I'll call this y2 so I can keep up. And so I'm going to write the first equation, y1 equals. Now, I need to know what the m and b is. So for y1, my b is 3. And remember, to find the m, we're going to do rise over run. So we need to find 2 good points. So I'm going to use this one. The next clean point that I see is all the way down here. So I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's negative 5. And over 1, 2, 3. So my m is a negative 5 over 3. Now remember, we write these in the formula of y equals mx plus b. This is on your formula chart. That's your slope-intercept form. And so it's going to be y equals a negative 5/3 x plus 3. That's my first equation. Now for y2, that's this guy. I've got a y-intercept of negative 3. And then my slope, I would go up 1 and to the right 3. And so that's going to be 1/3. And so that equation is going to be y equals 1/3 x minus 3. And when you get through doing that, that is your system. Okay, remember, if you can write the equation of one line that's graphed, you can write the equation of 2. Okay, and then from a table, we're going to do something very similar. I'm just going to figure out what my b is. And so my b is right here. Remember, it's where x is 0, so my b is 3. And then I'm going to find my rate of change. That's plus 1, and that's plus 0.5. And so if I was to go plus 2, I would go plus 1. And so my rate of change is going to be 1 over 2, which is 1/2. All right, so this one would be, I'll call this y1. y1 is going to equal 1/2 x plus 3. This one, my b is negative 6. My slope, I'm going to go up 1, and this is going to go up 2. So my slope is 2. And so it's going to be y2 is equal to 2x minus 6. All right, remember, if you can do one table, write the equation of one table, you can write the equation of 2 tables. And so if you're having trouble with figuring out what m is, figuring out what b is on any of these, and writing these equations, okay, that's something we did in previous chapters. You need to get into tutorials so that we can do one-on-one practice and figure that out. Once you can figure out how to do one, doing 2 will be very simple. Okay, so if you have any questions, please make sure that you join my tutorials, and we will get you that help. All right, you guys have a great day.